want you guys to know I will do one shot.
Yeah, okay.
But no, that's for real. And they spoke when they sound. I don't know. I got full, bro.
And you know what? I called you first. I wanted you to be here because it's time for you to get the motherfucking flowers.
Thank you.
What it good be, homies? What it should be? It's your boy N.O.R.E.
What up? It's DJ ESPN.
And it's Drink Chats motherfucking Yappy Hour. Make some noise! Now this guy is, when you talk about a person who got in the game, belongs in the game, and stays in the game. He started out, I want to say, as an internet troll. That's what they say when you Google him.
When you Google this is internet troll?
Kinda. Then he started doing like Weird Van Winkle, like making songs over Weird Van Winkle. What's his name?
Oh.
Begovic?
Yeah,
he started doing songs over. Then,
we're off to a good start.
Then he somehow got on Hot 97. Then from there, he's got on the most powerful show on Hot 97. And he still controls the show on Hot 97 called Still Late, which he dropped the album, which is the most. I felt broke immediately listening to the album.
Really? Real late made you feel that way?
I'm talking about listening to the album, yes. This guy represents real hip hop. Later on, not only has he had hip hop, but then he went on to WWE. I know he got WrestleMania belt in his pocket right now.
Yeah.
You got a belt on right now?
I lost it. No, I lost the title, but I had it. I had a title and lost it.
You forgot podcast pioneer.
That's not how I'm getting to that. Let's be clear. Not only does he get WWE checks, he also gets ESPN Walt Disney checks. That's the reason why he's a smoker. He's not gonna smoke today because Walt Disney is watching. And not only that, we have to thank him because at the beginning we thought the word podcast was just means nerd.
It did.
And if it wasn't for you on your half, Cipha Sounds, me and EFN probably wouldn't be sitting here right now today. Right. So we want to thank you to your face.
Thank you.
Because you are indeed the pod fault. God damn it.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
So Peter, me and you are friends. We're great. But a lot of people don't know how you started. Was you remaking records over?
So I had been in radio for a long time, and I was fired from radio many times. And on one of these occasions that I got fired from radio, I started doing a podcast, which was this is years before 1Ep, so podcasts were nothing. I mean, no one was
Internet
podcast.
radio days.
Yeah, basically. I mean, just after, kind of.
Right.
And then I started making some YouTube videos. And I made some silly-ass parodies. And right around that time...
So you were a Weird Al Yankee.
He was. You thought I was playing?
No, I was.
Yes, okay.
I was. I did a cover of Jim Jones' Ballin' called Bowling. Which is fucking terrible, but kind of good in a terrible way. And then I did one about Duke basketball that got really big.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that shit really hit. I dropped it the week the tournament. It was one of those rare times in life where you come up with a plan.
And you're from D.C., but isn't Duke from NC?
Correct.
So I thought you was from NC.
No,
first.
I went to Maryland, and we fucking hated Duke. At the time, that rivalry was crazy.
Right.
So I made this video. We dropped it the day the tournament started. So I sent it out to everyone, and everyone, when they sent their, their betting pool emails, everyone who hates Duke, which is everyone who didn't go to Duke, all forwarded the shit around, and it ended up getting 1 million views, which in those days,
crazy.
Today it would be like getting 100 million
the
views.
Inflation of
it was fucking gigantic. So then I get a phone call from someone, and he's like, yo, this dude Ebro wants to talk to you. He's seen your videos.
Okay, now Ebro is the PD at the time or the MD?
He's MD.
Okay.
And then Dave...
Music director for people who don't know these things.
I was getting industry talk. I'm so sorry.
He was next to the boss. He was next to the boss. Days later, I read in one of the trades, Ebro Darden named program director.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh shit, the guy who wants to talk to me just got named boss.
Right.
Wow.
So Ebro invites me up to Hot 97. Now keep in mind, years earlier, I had forced my way up to Hot 97 to go meet the old PD, John Dimmick.
Oh, okay. That's before Tracy.
After Tracy, before Ebro.
Okay, bet.
And I got up there and I was like, oh, I want to be on the station so bad. He was like, oh, that's great, but you have no experience and, keep working and good luck.
Right.
Ebro, I go see Ebro and he's like, yo, I want you to come up and try to produce. We want a new producer for Miss Jones' show.
Wow.
And
this is Miss Jones in the afternoon or Miss Jones in the morning? Okay.
And he's like, we want you to do Miss Jones' show, and we see that you know how to use the internet, and that's new, and we want to, see what you can do. So I come up there, I go to do Miss Jones' show, and
she doesn't like you.
That is the kindest way of putting it.
I can just feel like the energy wasn't right.
You don't think?
Okay.
She did not fuck with me at all. I got up there, and Envy was with her.
Okay.
And thank God for Envy, who was like, yo, bro, accommodating, welcoming.
Right.
Miss Jones, he was like, you probably shouldn't even be in the studio when she gets here.
Right.
I spent 2 days sitting in a studio next to the studio.
She just didn't vibe with you? Was anything specific?
She thought, she came up to me and she was like, afterwards, she was like, what are you, like some sort of fucking spy for Ebro?
Oh, wow.
Okay. By the way, in retrospect, she was probably right.
Right.
I mean, he was bringing me in to maybe be a producer or whatever, but I didn't know how to produce anyway.
Right.
So a couple days later, I'm home and Ebro calls me, and I remember where I was standing. He's like, I got good news and bad news. Bad news is the Miss Jones thing's not going to happen. I was like, I really didn't think that would work out anyway.
Right.
The good news is I want to have you do a Sunday night show where you play like, you're like underground hip hop. And I was like, that was the greatest phone call of my life.
Wow.
That would, if it had only been the Sunday night show, I was good. Hot 97 cracking a mic was I grew up on just wanting to be flex. Right. So when he was like, I'm going to give you a Sunday night show, I was like, I picked the music?
Right.
He was like, yeah, you pick the music. We'll do some video stuff. You can make some video content for us. And that was it.
Because that's what's interesting about the album when I hear it. It's like, we had Fat Joe on here recently, and Fat Joe said, every producer, every radio personality, everyone has the same access to the same people, right? So it's a particular way how Khaled makes his music. I feel like I was a particular way how you made this album was you went and you put Hot 97 to the side. You said, forget Hot 97. I'm gonna do what Real Late represents, and I'm gonna do. But what makes you say that? Because why wouldn't you? Like at the end of the day, anybody would give you a verse, right? Because they want to be on Ebro in the morning, right?
Okay.
So for most part, let's just say for the most part. But what makes you say to yourself, you know what? I'm gonna go back to hip hop and I'm gonna do it the way I feel it fit. What makes you do that? Because I would. I just don't.
I know. You go for the bag. No, I had tried to make some commercial records a couple years ago. Right. I actually have one in the stash that's crazy that I love. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting on it right now. It's a Vibes Cartel, French Montana record. Right. It's fucking awesome. It's produced by Harry Fraud. To me, it's a fucking Eastern Parkway, Labor Day weekend.
A lot
smash.
of coconut oil,
yes.
A lot of coconut juices floating around. Okay.
It's oil and the juices.
Yeah, oils and the juices. Yeah,
but it was just like, to me, I was like, this would come out of nowhere to people. If I just dropped a commercial record. And then also, honestly, it's about, do you want to chase people or do you want to get people who want to be on your shit? So about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I started listening to my boy, this dude named Top Shelf Premium. That's his Instagram account. He's a vintage clothes dealer in New York. He always has artists come to his store and freestyle. And he started sending me music for my show. And so I started getting up on all these new cats. Right around the time Griselda's Scorching, etc. Right. And so I was like, yo, instead of chasing other people, let me go back to what I did, putting people on. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who, when they hear their record on the radio, still get excited. Like, it means something to them. So when I started fucking with these artists, a little while later, I was like, yo, I could get all these guys on a record, and then I can go get the legends who I fuck with, who will give me some verses, and I can bring all of the shit together.
You got Ghostface, you got Raekwon, you got Jim Jones.
Yeah, Method Man, Styles P, and then Flea Lord, Rock Marcy. So I was like, I could put them all together on one project, and it'll be organic, it'll be me. Am I gonna make $1 million? No.
No, you're not gonna make $1 million.
Thank you, N.O.R.E. Thank you, N.O.R.E.
I'm just being honest.
No. I'm not gonna make $1 million.
Maybe in the future.
But listen.
I immediately went back to, sorry to compare you, but it really went back to Stretch and Bobbito.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right. I overlooked everything else and I went back. One thing I love about the Khaled album, some people hate it. I love it. I personally love it because I feel like he put a bunch of hits together and it resonates, right? So it reminds me of an old Kid Capri tape. Kid Capri was my favorite back then, getting the Kid Capri tape. The thing about your album is the exact opposite.
Yes. But by the way, that's kind of what I hope people say.
Okay.
And I love Khaled. Like, I respect Khaled. I love him personally. I don't want people to think it's like a Khaled album. You know, like, it's For me, I wasn't about scoring the biggest names. It was like the thing I'm most proud of. It's a cohesive hip hop album. It's not some fucking soundtrack where each song sounds different. Right. You would think all these cats worked together and were in a zone together. They weren't. Like this was COVID.
It's a great synergy when it comes to the beats. I can tell you personally picked the beats. Am I correct with that?
And cohesive is a perfect, like, that's the word to use. Right. And I think there's something to say that that's what Khaled does. Right. Like, that's how he makes his living. Those gotta be hits.
Right. Gotta be hits.
You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming that you're like, this album's not gonna make you or break you. This was a passion
project.
He
rich already. Make some noise for Peter Rosenberg. Come on. I've been in his house on the Upper East Side, bro.
West Side. I'm West Side. And by the way, my apartment now is way better than that one.
Okay.
But like, listen, I'm not rich in hip hop terms, but I'm good enough that I don't have to worry about it.
Right.
And to me, it's all bonus.
It's a passion project.
It's all bonus. It's all icing. I just hope one day people come up to me and are like, yo, that fucking Real Late album you dropped, that shit was fucking fire. Right. And there are people on it, you know, like Rock Marcy right now is a legend. And a lot of people don't know that Rock Marcy is occupying the space that cats like Dilla and Doom, the space they were in, that's who Rock Marcy is right now. And I have him on the project with Flea Lord.
And Rock Marcy is producing as well.
He does, but he's not on this.
Okay.
Yeah, I got him, my boy Disco Vietnam. I got my boy who's a 40-year-old Jewish man living on Long Island.
Goddamn, make some noise for 40-year-old Jewish.
That's the first time we make noise for that.
Yes, first time.
No, you did it when I showed up.
Yeah. That's right. I brought my Jewish conglomerate too. I don't know if you know. I brought my Jewish conglomerate just so you can feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much.
You know what I'm saying? My Jewish conglomerate. Pick up the Eric and pick up the Diego. Goddamn it. But okay, floating around. Boom. Now, there comes a time in Summer Jam history where you fucked Summer Jam up. Let's just throw it out there. It's a time for me to pop a bottle. Which one you want me to?
Let me hear where it goes first, and then we'll...
Okay, no. But
are we popping Ace?
Yeah, we're popping Ace of Spades. You know, you gotta prove. Listen, I didn't think you was gonna get approved.
And you gotta prove.
Listen. I didn't think you was gonna get. A lot of artists don't get approved, man. Be more weight on this tables, man.
I appreciate that.
So I had to make a phone call. And you know what I'm saying?
All right, I'll pop some.
So which one you want? The gold. The gold? Oh, okay. But you know this is more expensive. This is the rose.
Pink.
Okay, yeah, let's go to the pink.
Why are you gonna ask him and then go with this one?
No, because I don't want him to feel jerked. Like when people see him, they're like, "Why did he pick the gold? He didn't know the pink." So you still want to go pink?
I only drink that one.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. It's 500. It's 250. Okay, so.
Summer Jam 2012.
Summer Jam 2012, right?
So you fucked this up. This was
in my opinion, this is just my humble opinion. I consider you my friend, so I would have told you this off the side. What it was the timing. It wasn't what you said.
No.
It was the timing of what you said.
And place.
You said, and place, and how you said it, and the fact is, this is your headliner.
Correct.
This is a female.
Oh, this is a Nicki Minaj situation.
Yes, this is a female who automatically, I don't want to say just sensitive because she's a female, but in this situation, she's a queen of New York. This is New York #1 station. And you get on, what was it? Was it the afternoon?
No, it was the festival stage. So it was Kendrick was about to come out on the festival stage.
And you bigged up Kendrick.
So as part of my way of hyping the crowd for Kendrick, I'm a wrestling fan.
Yes,
it's all about
theatrics.
It's about in wrestling we call it cheap heat, which by the way is the name of my podcast. Subscribe everywhere. Cheap heat means
cheap heat?
Cheap like heat.
Oh, cheap heat. I thought you meant like Chia Pet.
No.
I'm about to say you bringing back Chia Pets? Let's go, Rosenberg. Bring back Chia Pets. Goddamn.
So cheap heat means in wrestling, if you want to get the crowd hot at you, that's called heat, right? So bad guys want to get heat. The cheapest way to get heat is to get out in the crowd and say, the bad guy comes out in Miami and goes, I can't stand Miami. I'm from New York, whatever. Right. And if you want a cheap pop, the way you come out is you're like, it's so great to be here in Miami. These are cheap heat and cheap pops. I was doing both. I was really going for a cheap pop because I know that the crowd that's there to see Kendrick, when I say fuck Starships, I know the crowd is going to cheer for that.
Yes.
So
we're going to cheer for you right now.
Cheers.
Salute.
Thank you for me fucking up.
Popping bottles on the side, goddammit.
Cheers.
Go ahead. But by the way, I don't think we got cheap heat in hip hop.
I'm sure there is.
I don't think we do.
Well, maybe not. You're right. I mean, it ended up being expensive, I'm sure.
Okay.
So I tried to pop the crowd by saying, now listen, the truth is, I had already been on the radio dissing Starships at that point for months.
Right, and you got to realize, us as artists, right? When we have a relationship with you guys, when you diss the record, we don't feel like you're dissing the record. We feel like you're dissing us.
And I had no relationship
Taking
with
it personal.
Well,
so it's even worse in some ways because I had at that time I didn't know Nicki at all.
But Ebro knew Nicki, and
but remember,
you're guilty by association.
Well, but remember, Nicki's not even really in New York that much at that time, right? She's moving around, she's blowing up.
But she's still the queen of New York.
And she's hearing it from people though. That's what's even worse about radio.
Party. Third party. Okay.
People go. So I make a joke, right? Like I used to tease Nicki.
I don't know if you sipped that, but when we cheers, you got to sip it. Okay, all right.
I'm not an animal.
All right, cool.
So Nicki. At that time, when she would do like sort of her voices she would go into, like on Monster. Cipha and I, when we do the show, we would sort of like tease that, but not like we were shitting on it. We
you
were
would
just
mimic these voices?
Yeah, but it really wasn't shitting on it. Like we thought she was dope.
Right.
But when people hear it and are like, yo, the fucking
Safari came up to her and was
people are telling her people talk shit. So she already wasn't fucking with us.
Right.
And then I dissed Starships and I'm like, what is this record? Blah, blah, blah. And
let's be clear, this 2012, so people wasn't going live. So this is not like she could have went and looked at someone's Instagram. So people weren't going live.
No, they're hearing. It's still word of mouth.
Still hearsay. Okay.
Unless it was a clip we put up,
right?
She wasn't going to hear it. So, and I didn't like Starships, and I stand by that. I think history kind of proved me right on. I mean, even though she made a boatload of money on it, it did really well. Right. It wasn't a record that I liked. Now I admit I did not at the time think of sort of the implications, me being a man, being a white man, who she doesn't know and wasn't even all that established yet, shitting on, her record. I now realize sort of the privilege that was built into that. But at the time, I'm just repping for it. To me, it's hip-hop all day.
Right.
And while I'm regretful about some of those situations, let's be honest, if I wasn't the kind of person who said shit like that, I wouldn't ever be here right now.
Right.
If you don't have enough swagger and stupid, ill-advised confidence to talk shit, you're not interesting. And I had to show, listen, all the rappers who wanted to fuck me up in the first few years, most of which I'm close with now, present company included, it all came from a place of like, I just had stupid confidence that I deserve to be here and should have the conversation. In retrospect, I could see how now that would be considered problematic. But at the time, I was just a guy who's like, I'm trying to get on, I've studied the game, and I'm going to give my opinion. And that's what Ebro wanted me to do. So I was just doing what I thought I was supposed to do.
But let's just be clear. All right, cool. Let's take away the fact that she's a girl. Let's take away the fact that she's the queen of N.O.R.E, right? Let's take away the fact for that right now. Just the fact that it was the headliner.
Yes, that's the stupid part.
Yeah.
And it was streaming on her website.
Oh, wait a minute. What? So she was streaming like on
her website.
So
they had the live. The Barbs saw it. So the next thing I know, I'm on the side of the stage,
and the Barbs are throwing.
Ebro comes up to me where the show's about to start. Ebro's like, "Yo, do you say something about Nicki on the festival stage?" And I swear to God, I was like, no. I didn't remember. I was like, "Oh yeah, I did. I talked shit about Starships." He was like, "Yeah, she pulled out of the show." And I was like. The next second, I go on my phone, I open up Twitter, I just see trending, Peter Rosenberg. I was like, well, this is not good. She's not doing the show. And so the first thing I'm worried about, naturally, is my job. I've only been there a few years at that point, and I'm like, I just cost us Nicki Minaj at Summer Jam. That was fucking stupid. And you're right, the time and place was ridiculous. And I just wasn't being thoughtful. It was just fucking stupid.
Poor judgment on your part.
Could you have rectified that situation? Had you apologized right then and there, or that was not the case?
Too late at that moment.
No one even considered that. And this is where hot. Listen, Ebro and Flex both do. Neither has a small ego either. So while I'm sure they might have been upset with me on some level, though neither ever said they were upset with me, they both just went the other way.
It's like the brothers in blue. Like
they said, well, let's not do any cop shit with me. No, it was like the brothers in Hot 97. How about just
compounding the situation?
Cold blue.
How about just a Hot 97 show? Anyways, I think they went with like, oh, they're pulling out. Fuck that. We're Hot 97. No one's pulling out on our shit. It's Summer Jam. So they took that approach of defending me, and then of course it got messy because all Young Money pulled out. Busta was not happy with me. Who I do have a great relationship with, and he was not happy. That was one of the many times I've been.
Oh, Busta was on Cash Money at the time. He was coming out. Okay.
And guess who else was? Khaled. Not happy. So people weren't happy, but at the same time, everyone was cool in the long run. You know, it took some time with Nicki to smooth things over.
Because you did eventually apologize to her, correct?
I did, and she did. I watched the video again recently. She definitely sunned the living shit out of me on camera.
Let's describe the situation. Let's take
a year later, before Summer Jam, Ebro sets up this whole thing for me to go come face to face with her. Okay. First of all, Ebro had to be there, which is I don't know if she was doing one of the
I think Nicki might have fucked you up. I'm just throwing it out there.
You're right. You know what? It probably helped.
Just throwing it out there. Okay.
So,
I might have put my money on Nicki.
I just sat there one-on-one with her, and she just sort of.
Were you intimidated? Nicki seems a little intimidating. I'm being honest.
She is. Yeah. Nicki is super intimidating. Okay. And in that moment, I was shook. And I took my lumps and said, I'm sorry. And she said, you're not smart, you're not funny, you're this, you're that. And honestly, not all that's true. Right. I am rather smart and funny. But it's okay. I understand why you're not feeling me.
Pick and choose your battles.
I apologized. And
this is at the station? Okay.
And then the truth is, though I don't talk to Nicki anymore, the truth is we had a period after that, over a couple of years, where we were actually pretty cool. Right. Like, we would actually text and talk about music, and I would
give... on us. You heard them? Text?
Yeah. No, not anymore. Those numbers are coming up green.
You flossed on us. Make some noise.
I once texted with Nicki Minaj. Yeah. No, that shit comes up green now. But, no, we had a period where we were cool. And, like, even the next year at Summer Jam, like, we talked on stage, and I don't know, I actually felt... the same. You know when you beef with people or have a feud with someone, right? Once you make up, there is some sort of odd kinship that exists. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying Nicki likes me. I don't know how Nicki feels about me at all. But I know that at that time, I definitely felt some level of closeness.
Right.
You went through some shit and you got through it.
And we both. And by the way, for the record, as mad as she was at me, after that whole shit, her next album was her most hip hop and most successful. She bodied her next album.
What was the next album? I forgot the name.
I think the next one was Pink Friday, or was it Pink Print?
I love how you grabbed
the phone
instead of thinking how we used to do back in the days.
By the way, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up that you are literally correct. That is what I do now.
you literally
well, she had a lot of albums at this point.
Yeah. So you're taking credit for that next album.
Yo, you're a good radio host.
no, we're not radio.
It was Pink Friday, Roman Reloaded might have been the one with Starships on it. So it would have been the next one in 2014.
Okay.
Which was the Pink Print.
Okay.
No, I'm not taking credit. Right. Nice try, EFN.
Right,
You've really developed into quite the host. However, I do think that that situation maybe impacted her on to some level, and she was like, "Yo, I need to do this hip hop shit." And let's be honest,
maybe even subconsciously,
Nicki would we all want Nicki rapping.
I can't lie. When I love her singing. I love her doing the pop shit because me being from Queens and knowing where she comes from, I know what that's secure in the bag. But at the end of the day, I do love when she spits. But a part of me, to be honest, like I said, when I first heard like the first 5 records of your album, I was like, it reminded me of the days where I got nowhere. So sorry.
Yo, that is the illest disrespect.
And it's not because it's what got you where
it's what got you there.
So it's the War Report. It's the foundation.
Yes, and it got me nowhere.
No, it's not true. It got you everywhere.
That's what reminded me of.
Prior to the War Report. No. Prior to the War Report. Not the actual War Report, but prior to the War Report, what it is...
When you were Yuzzle, what was your name? Yuzzle Buzzle without the Buzzle?
It was Yahoo with the ball to be.
Wait, and by the way, your War Report is the most hardcore underground shit ever. Yes. My shit sounds like the Pink Print next to fucking the War Report. I mean, like, don't get it twisted, Norris. You dropped the hardest album of all time.
No, but I literally listened to your joint and I was like, wow. Just remember. Fat Nav Scoop had a late night show before you. It reminded me of that, like the late night show with Fat Man Scoop, like pre-K Slay, and it was like, I'm not saying the album, I'm saying me, like when I was making that type of music, making it that way, I just couldn't get nowhere, and that's the thing is, like, Nas is a unicorn, so to speak. Kendrick is a unicorn. J. Cole. Unicorn. It's a camouflage unicorn. Like the way, yeah, he's a camouflage unicorn.
I've never even heard of a camouflage unicorn.
Like the way the way J. Cole spits, and he gets nicer and nicer as he makes more money and more money. He's getting drunk right now. We doing shots next.
Yeah, no, is that water?
Holy water.
It's drink champs. His
No, I said, he said, you asked for water. I said, is that water? He said, no, it's Sprite. We didn't have water.
You can mix it with
if
your
we
drink.
can find the water, it'll be ill.
So,
I'll take a glass.
He's going to make you some scissors.
So I guess my question is, and it's gonna sound fucked up for me because I believe in lyrics. I come for it. But why should this young generation really believe in it? Like, I know I can get this coming back, but why?
Okay, so I have the answer though. Okay,
Yeah.
because the difference is in your era it was very hard.
Right.
You might get an ill label deal, which is interesting because you get this upfront money, blah blah blah. But then where do you go from there? Right. The beauty is now, N.O.R.E, you can be a middle class or upper middle class rapper.
Right.
You can be a guy who his stream shits on a medium level and live.
No label needed,
And
no
live
radio play needed.
Yo, you don't even need a radio song. And you go do shows and you could do 500 seaters all year round, travel, make money.
Go to Europe.
Go to Japan. So like I actually think the opportunity for the artists that are on my record, it's better now than it ever was in your day. Because even when you were putting out the most hardcore shit, you still were hoping, well, they'll play TONY.
Yeah, well, do they even hear it somewhere else? Like, that's the crazy shit. Like,
but there was a monopoly by the record labels to get this music out and sold.
And now that's not there.
Really exists,
but you gotta realize, if I didn't go to that place, I didn't see it. Like, I didn't know anybody played my, like, literally, I did not know people played my record in Virginia. I didn't even know people played my record in DC. It's because if I didn't actually get there was no way for me to do that. And if the record labels knew it, they weren't telling me.
Right.
So I thought I was hot in New York City, the whole war report. I never knew people in Jamaica, not Jamaica, Queens, is listening to this shit. I didn't know that. So, like, the algorithms, all that shit didn't exist.
Right. Now it does.
And now it does. So I do think...
And we're still not getting the technical numbers.
No.
Like, when we're looking at the streams and all that. Like,
and also, yeah, like, and believe me, I can tell... Like, I can already tell that my streams are going to be a harder ride than it is for some people. You can see the system still rigged. Because my shit's organic. My shit's getting listened to the amount of times it's played.
Whose shit is not organic? You know what
honestly, I literally don't even know.
Listen to it twice today? Is that
like I saw it said EFN. It said one listen to Miami. I'm like, that's EFN.
No, that was me then.
Oh,
that was me, bro. Listen, I got through on Monday's bit yesterday. You know, yesterday I felt.
He listened to half. I listened to half. That was the one in Miami.
Thank you.
Okay, but all right. So you said lyricist, and all right, cool. You know what was the L thing the other day? I'm sitting there just randomly listening to my iPod, which is my iPhone. I got songs on repeat. On shuffle. And these Nas songs come on. And I literally can't picture these beats without Nas on there, which was different. Like, right now, I heard some producer, I think it was T-Pain, say, yo, we should just thank the producers right now because the beats is hard. No one's really paying attention. They're paying attention to the melody. But is that something that's a problem? Like, back then, the beat would be 50% of it.
Right.
And the lyrics would literally be the other 50% of the beat.
Right.
Now, we're just listening to the melody and because you play a lot of it.
Yeah, we do in the morning. I'm not gonna lie. I'm embarrassed to say how little of it I know in the morning. Like, I have become that guy. Like, I'm scared. I don't even want to give Ebro the idea of, like, let's quiz Rosenberg on what we're playing right now. Because I really, unless I hear Pop Smoke's voice,
I've been listening
or Lil Baby, I don't know who the fuck we're playing.
I've been listening to Corey Ray for a month. I had no idea that was her. I didn't know she was talking about my man. It's been It's my man. I've been saying my pops let me down. I said, holy shit.
By the way, even I knew that.
It's almost a diss record.
Yeah,
oh my God. I didn't know. Like, I was.
Shouts to Corey Ray.
I was in LA for a month listening to this.
But no, it's not that I think it's bad at all. You know, people enjoy it. And by the way, there are great rappers, right? Like, I think Lil Baby's a great rapper. Yeah. Right?
Okay, Little Baby, all right, the baby, all right,
Baby's cool and has ill swag and is an interesting guy. But Lil Baby is like an MC. Lil Baby can rap his ass off. And he's on the Cole album. He bodies the fucking Cole album. Right. You know, I think Roddy Ricch is an ill in general, you know, with everything he does. So it's not that about you have to be rapping in a traditional sense. I just want to see shit be creative and dope.
Creative is the word.
And, like, you know, sometimes there's good shit.
Don't front on Kodak Black. Don't front on Kodak Black.
By the way.
Oh, y'all had beef with Kodak Black. That's right.
Both of y'all
have Crowley County right now.
By the way, Kodak.
He doesn't matter to me. By the way, I was very into Kodak's music.
Right.
I love that patty cake shit so much. Like, that record is so ill. Like, no, Kodak's pretty ill, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's ill.
He's ill. Awkward moment, but ill rapper. There's a bunch of them that I think are really dope. But listen, I'm always gonna have...
Lil TJ?
TJ's dope.
I fuck with Lil TJ. I fuck with CJ.
I fuck with CJ too. But I mean, I'm not
gonna... I fuck with Foreign Fabio.
Fabio Foreign?
Fabio Foreign. You know, I'm dyslexic.
You're dyslexic.
I'm dyslexic.
You actually got it right for dyslexic. Foreign Fabio's exactly
Dream
right.
Doll. I love Dream Doll.
Dream Doll's dope, actually. She can rap too. It's about who has the story though. Who's really interested?
See, you too much into wrestling and boxing. That's what's real. You know what's crazy thing? It was a great show on HBO called 24/7.
Oh yeah, it's great.
And I don't know if you remember, they would take 24/7 would take the most non-interesting person.
Yo, that's so true.
And make him interested. And I agree with you to a certain extent, but I don't want us to create the story because that's the only thing with 24/7 I would be mad at is they would take a non-interested person, make him interested, and then when 24/7 is over, the person is non-interested again. The thing is,
it was just to get you to want to watch the fight.
It was just to get you to watch the fight. The thing is, I want the people to create the real narrative.
Correct.
Take the real narratives and do that. And so that's what you're saying. These rappers are not having a story right now?
I think they may have stories, but social media makes it look like all their stories are the same. It's not that they all
sound the same.
That's what it's not
like
that
a carbon copy.
It's not that I think none of them are interesting or have a life to speak of. It's just like because of social media and everyone basically doing the same thing. Like there's never going to be a time in my life when I don't find holding up money in a Instagram story stupid.
Right.
Never. Like no matter how young or old I was, the idea that cats are showing money to the world to me is the craziest thing on earth. And also, and then not only is it stupid and dangerous, but it's boring. It's fucking boring. It's not that.
And what does it accomplish?
You ain't gonna see me do it because I ain't got it, Rosenberg. I ain't got it, man.
Well, actually, Mayhem Loren has a line on my album where he says something like, "I don't hold money to my ear, but best believe I got it." It's like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
But more importantly, from an artistic standpoint, I don't find it interesting. Like, you know, I think a lot of people have been, whether they admit it or not, annoyed with how much I supported Kendrick. I've heard about that constantly throughout my career.
Annoyed that you support him early on?
So they're annoyed that I went as hard as I did.
They called you a dick rider. Let's just throw it out there.
Actually, I believe the word that Lupe used was nut hugger.
Okay.
But dick riding and nut hugging
it's adjacent.
It's dick riding adjacent, for sure.
It's his cousin. Okay. Yeah.
But the thing is,
give me a champagne cup too.
I have. Okay. What are you guys doing?
This is drink champs. Don't worry about it.
I want you guys to know I will do one shot.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, that's for real. I'm not gonna do a
give him
second
that Colombian white, baby.
Yeah. What is it you're giving me too?
Hey man, you can pick your poison, man. This is Ciroc. This is hip hop.
Oh, it's a Ciroc.
By the way, I don't know if you know, you're on a hip hop show.
So it's Ciroc.
Drinking hip hop shit.
Yo, it's a spades and Ciroc.
Yeah, we doing it.
Make some motherfucking noise for all hip hop drinks.
Yeah, yours.
Boom.
Come on and get some of mine. Oh, you got mine already?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You got yours? Peter Rosenberg, we don't know what you know, but our show is about giving people their flowers while they can smell them, they roses when they can tell them, they drinks when they can hell them, and they smoke when they can sell them. I don't know. I got it all wrong. But you get this shit. And you know what? I called you personally. I wanted you to be here because it's time for you to get your motherfucking flowers,
Thank you, guys.
Salud.
I appreciate you.
By the way, on Drink Champs, we had 50 Cent here, Nas here, Puff Daddy here. You're the only one who's telling us what amount of shots are yours and telling us what amount. So at some point we're gonna break this. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get into it.
By the way, you're full of shit because I just watched Cameron turn down drinks for 3 hours.
Me and Cam had beef. We squashed it on the air.
Oh, so
me and you don't have beef.
No, we
like
did.
That.
We did. We had a brief beef.
Okay, let's talk about the brief beef. Okay,
we had a brief beef.
I don't remember this.
You don't remember either?
Okay,
I was hoping you would.
Okay, tell me.
All I know is something happened. We were trying to arrange something, and somehow you thought I was fucking blocking in some way.
Really?
And all I know is I was on set.
This is very vague, man.
Bro, I wish I remember.
Something blocked something.
Well, you don't remember either. So all I know is I was on set at Hip Hop Squares. And he was calling me like pissed off. Like I'm gonna fucking come through. And we were already cool at this point. Yo, he flipped on me. It was one of those things where I thought we were good.
Caught him on a bad Virgo.
And I caught him on and he flipped. It was a full N.O.R.E flip. And I know it was cool. In the end, I know you were wrong. And we made amends. It was all good.
Yeah, because I remember going to Hollywood Squares, and I think that's the first time me meeting Amber Rose.
That sounds right, yes.
She was there.
Amber was there. All I know is he was mad at me and thought, a lot of times shit happens at Hot, and because I'm the person people are cool with or know,
they popping bottles
when they get
over
upset, that's Ike. Ike just keeps popping bottles by himself.
He just showing off for you.
I think when shit goes left at Hot, they can take it out on the people that they know, and I'm like, I wish I was a boss sometimes, but like I'm not. Like I really show up and just do my job, and I talk and do my thing. So I remember one year Summer Jam, Travis Scott called me at 10 a.m. and he's like, Rosenberg, I need to figure out my fucking lights. They won't hit me back. I'm trying to have a fucking crane and a blah 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 blah.
And I was like, I got nothing to do with that.
I was like, Travis, you think I know what the production? So I was like, here's Ebro's number.
Right.
You go ahead and call him. I do not do Summer Jam. But I don't think people understand that, like, they just assume my name's Rosenberg.
Right.
I've been there a long time.
Right.
I can get shit done. But I'm really the guy my job has always been to just be myself. And that's why I'm incredibly blessed for the job I have. But I don't wield fucking power at Hot except to play the records I want to play. Bro, if I wielded power at Hot, the playlist would look a lot fucking different than it looks right now.
Right. They ever try to pay you to play a record?
People have, people have, and that was
Let's describe a situation. You at Houston's.
I've only been to the New York Houston's like once.
32nd Street, something like that.
By the way, and they don't. It's not on the menu.
Okay.
But that fried chicken salad, the chicken tender salad, not on the menu.
Okay.
Crazy.
Not on the menu.
No, it's crazy.
You
got to
be connected.
You got to know.
All right, cool.
You got to know.
It comes with the peyote.
It comes with the peyote and the mescaline.
Oh, and the peyote.
Yeah. So
we said payola, brother. We gonna.
Oh, you said payola?
I said it comes with the payola.
I said peyote.
You agreed to it. You was like, yeah.
What is that? No, so I've only had it happen a couple times.
Okay. How does this happen? You're a Red Lobster not
No, it was actually. It's often outside of Hot 97. That's the craziest part.
On camera.
Yeah, it's like, first of all, I don't take money for records, never have, never will.
Right.
Second of all, you're walking up to me outside the front door. I don't know what shit used to be like, but that's fucking insane.
Right.
But I made a deal with myself, just like, I didn't even have to. I would never play a whack record. I always say to people, if they want to pay me to play a record, I would say, if you send me some shit that I like, I will play the record. I don't need money.
Ike and Mr. Lee, you're two Spanish guys. You're the loudest ones here. You got to relax. You know, Power 105 is going at it with Hot 97. Hot 97 going at it with Power 105, blah, 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 blah. There's this list. We don't know if this exists or not, right? But it's somehow Funk Flex gets a hold of this list, from what I heard. And he meets up with all the DJs, whether they Power 105, whether they Hot 97, and he flips on them. He goes, yo, man, you know, we all should be getting enough money that we should not be taking money, one, and then two, because Young M.A.'s second single didn't get pushed because they said the DJs in New York didn't play it. Have you ever heard this story?
I have never heard this story.
But because of what? Because
they didn't get the bag. They got the bag.
They wanted the bag from
Duck Down or...
I was going to say from Drew High?
Right.
Yeah, that seems crazy.
Because what was Young M.A.'s first single?
Ooh.
So I guess...
By the way, all-time classic.
Classic.
We need to pay respect.
Classic.
Don't
Let's
ever
make
forget.
some noise for Young M.A.
Make some noise for fucking Ooh. That Ooh and Bobby Shmurda back-to-back moment was fire.
So there's a rumor. No disrespect, you probably not. They don't probably consider you a real DJ.
No, they don't.
So
I'm not a club DJ.
Yeah. So they went to. This is the rumor.
Okay.
Flex stepped to everyone from Power 105. Say had a meeting. He had a Illuminati meeting, like a DJ Illuminati meeting.
DJ Illuminati.
DJ Illuminati.
That was I've heard you say a lot of crazy shit.
Illuminati.
DJ Illuminati.
Craziest shit I've heard. Okay.
DJ Illuminati.
We're gonna spell that out in the screen.
And it was addressed like, yo, blase blah whoop-de-whoop. And one of the main reasons was we had a New York star, you know, Young M.A. And Woo, was it Woo? Ooh. Number one, whatever it had to do. But the second single came, and every DJ felt like they didn't want to play it. This is the rumor.
And if I remember correctly, that second single was pretty dope.
It was pretty dope. I think Young M.A. is pretty dope, period. But what I'm saying is, I'm just bringing that up to say, have you ever dealt with that type of shit? Because you know, for us, New York, we ran the world.
Yep.
It's kind of hard for us to sit back and watch Atlanta it's kind of hard for us to sit back and watch anybody in a certain state.
Right.
Doing what they got to do when we're not at the forefront. But then we realize and we hear that there's a reason why. There's certain people who want to be paid. Like, I think that when it comes from your own, I think that should never be approached. Obviously, I'm asking you your opinion.
Yeah, by the way, this is so boring that my answer is I have no idea. Right. And I know I can already see the YouTube comments. Yeah, fucking right, you don't know. You're the worst
part
one.
Of the
You're the one. You're that's because your father owns the whole radio station. I know. Yeah, I get it all.
How you're an industry plant?
Oh, yeah, how did you get this job?
That the radio's
I know. My mom was a kindergarten teacher. She hooked me up. But no, I've never been close to that shit, ever. Now, I've heard stories from back in the day, just like you asking questions.
No, I know for a fact, please remember what I said because they'll kill me for cutting you off. I know for a fact Funk Master Flex does not do it. I've tried any which way, shape, form, or fashion. I've tried to buy car rims off of him. I tried to be any way, shape, form. Funk Flex, 1,000,000% his integrity. If he likes my record, he's going to play it. If he doesn't like my record, he's going to say, I don't like it. He'll still play it once. It's no bombs. It's very, very, very seldom. But when he does like my record, he goes in, and so I can never be mad when he likes somebody else's record. But continue your statement.
I have never seen it, never heard of it. And frankly, if people say that, I think it's excuse making. Like, we need to be better in New York. We need to make better music. Right. That's the issue. Hold on, my brother's calling.
Okay, cool.
Yo, Nick, I'm on Drink Champs right now. You want to say anything on Drink Champs?
Yeah.
This is a lot.
Nick, say hi to N.O.R.E. and ESPN.
What's going on, Nick? What's going on, Nick?
The guy who got me into hip hop.
Okay.
Can I call you back?
Listen, what are you guys talking about?
N.O.R.E.'s asking me.
How can I jump into a conversation and be like, say something?
Yeah.
He's in the Illuminati.
Yeah, no, Nick. I'm telling him the story about how our family is in the Illuminati and how I got the job at Hot 97 because Dad rules the world.
No, don't say it.
I'll call you back after this.
What were we talking about? I'm so into it.
No, the payola stuff. Never seen it.
I believe, secret DJ meeting.
I believe it's excuse making. I believe that New York just for a while wasn't making hot shit.
No, I know for a fact this situation is a fact.
So hold on. So what you're saying
is... I'm hating it as a rumor. But
so you're saying Flex had a meeting and told everyone you cannot take money for records.
He was disappointed. I heard that he had a tear in his eye.
Because of her record not getting played.
He didn't know that people were actually doing that. And when he realized that she came out with another record and he was the only one playing it.
Got it. So you're saying that
something like that. I'm paraphrasing somewhere.
Got it. So basically they fucked with Ooh because it was hot, but on the next one they were like, nah, you got to pay this time.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be a fucking disgrace, and anyone would deserve whatever they get for that. You know, I don't know anyone. Like, I got to tell you guys, like the DJs, you're friends with all of them. Like. Right. You know, from Cipha, Camilo, Enough, Cass, Trends, like everyone I know up there has been a straight dude, like a straight up dude since I got there.
No, but there's some. Let's be clear. We're naming the good cops. That's like when you get the good cops. I know Officer Rodriguez. I know Officer. There's a lot of bad cops.
There's a lot of bad ones. I'm not listening.
But let's be honest here, and this is
DJ is more integrity.
No. But this is the thing. What was created for DJs to create some kind of situation that benefits somebody is the DJ cruise.
Yes.
And the DJ cruise is like mafia shit.
Yeah, because you got to get...
Look at DMX's first album listening party. It was all heavy hitters. That was definitely the Colombo family. Let's just make sure it's the Colombo family.
So it may not be payola, but it was something like that.
It's not payola, huh?
But no, that's true, because the crews make it complicated because you want a whole crew to support your record.
Right.
You know? And listen, I'm sure I'm going to encounter that right now. I'm going to be just hitting up every DJ randomly myself, being like, hey, is there anything you could play on this?
Right.
No, but listen... I can't ever condone a DJ doing some shit like that.
Absolutely.
I've been on my own fucking island, bro, playing the music I'm gonna play I can't believe they let me do it for 13 years. I've never been paid for my Sunday night show. I make my own playlist. No one says a fucking word. I have never... Oh, no, I did. I had one little period where they started telling me I needed to play hits in my show. I forgot. I forgot that happened. Really? And for about a year... They were like, send us the playlists, it was because of a whack boss we had, not Ebro, some like a whack dude who was there.
For your late night show?
Yes. There was a period where they were like, you need to, on Sundays, we want to make sure that we're spinning other records too. So I played along with them for like 6 months, and then slowly but surely they forgot. A new person came in, and no one bothers me about my shit. And I'm very grateful. Like, on Sundays, I literally can chill in my house and be like, what am I playing? You know, like when X passed, God rest the dead, I was able to be like, I'm going to do an hour of X.
On late night.
And I'm going to play the most random shit that people don't remember. I can do
Tell
that.
them what late night, what time it comes on. Tell them.
If you're in New York or anywhere in the world, you can stream it every Sunday night, midnight Eastern. So it's Sunday into Monday, midnight to 2. Right. And I get to do whatever the fuck I want. I've done it now for 13 years. And listen, it's a weird time to get to have this gig. Like, this isn't the glory years.
I'm
not Stretch and Bob. I'm never going to be viewed as Stretch and Bob because this isn't the glory, the era, the golden years. I got a question
about Stretch and Bob before we go to Quick Time and Fly.
I thought we were going to commercial. I was like, what?
No. The glory years? Okay.
That's not the time I've been in, unfortunately. I've been on at the time, actually, where everyone's kind of moved on from the golden era, and I've been the dude who continues to try to put my flag down for the shit that I love. Right. While growing with the times, I've supported all the biggest artists, not all, but a lot of the biggest artists over the last decade, from Cole to Kendrick to Mac Miller, God bless the dead,
Logic.
Earl Sweatshirt, Logic. There have been a ton of, I played Odd Future for the first time, I played Frank Ocean for the first time.
When you Google they say that you the first person to play Earl Sweatshirt and had an interview with him. First
interview ever with Earl Sweatshirt. Like, I was waiting for him to get back from Samoa. Like, that was and those guys are, fucking Tyler's a Grammy-winning legend now.
He's a new RZA.
Yeah, he is. I think I'm the exact same way. He's going to make movies. He's going to do everything.
I know I've been talking shit about him, but he's the new RZA.
But it shows why you shouldn't neglect these artists that you are putting on, because what he's saying with the lyrics and this and that, no.
You don't know.
Shows you the type of artist that can come out of this.
The early Odd Future shit was the dirtiest, grimiest shit ever. Yeah. Now, granted, they were sort of playing characters, and Tyler knew what he was doing. Yeah. But the bottom line is, musically, if you go back and watch their first video, they're fucking breaking teeth and bleeding and doing crazy shit in the videos. Yeah. It was some real. It reminded me of some fucking Onyx,
heavy metal,
MOP. We're gonna really push the boundaries. Fuck you of
this is of
everything. Right. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It was refreshing what they were doing.
No, it was. And so, listen. The fact is, I've lived While my radio show, I don't think has ever gotten the glory and flowers that I would have liked it to, though I'm deeply appreciative of you guys who have always treated me that way. It means a lot to me. And there are pockets of people who treat me that way. Right. Diddy's always been that way. Busta, Swizz. Like, the guys who spend time in New York. Right. Because they drive around. Right. Like Diddy, the reason Diddy and I have a relationship is because Diddy used to drive around at night, and people don't know that Diddy's a fucking head. And he'd be like, yo, what is the shit what did you play at 12:55? So it was shit like that.
That's how you discovered Biggie on some underground shit. So yeah,
he still has that mentality to some degree. So while I didn't always get I don't necessarily always get the Stretch and Bob treatment of like, oh, thank God for Peter Rosenberg. Ultimately, my life has been filled with so many blessings because, ASAP Mob, they're a great example. Rocky always heaps praise on me. Bronson always does too. And I'm super grateful for the ones who always... The New York... Bronson's Queens all day. Rocky and Ferg are fucking Harlem. Those cats kind of understand it because they knew what it meant to hear it on the radio still. We live in an era now where it doesn't mean the same thing for everyone.
Not at all.
But the fact that I got to be around these guys, like Childish Gambino, who I played on the radio for the first time too, Gambino is one of the most brilliant minds in entertainment, period. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Put me on Atlanta, Gambino, go ahead.
Were you on Atlanta?
No, I want to be.
Oh, I think you said again.
I'm trying to throw my shot. Go ahead.
What's going on?
I auditioned for Atlanta and didn't get on.
Oh, really?
They asked me to audition for an episode of Atlanta at the very beginning.
What was the role?
So I'm going to tell you the story because you're going to love this.
I feel like you was working in a laundromat. No?
No? Your family on the radio station.
By the way, I hope your listeners appreciate, and I know they do because y'all are it right now, but I hope listeners appreciate the level of that one-liner. That was deadpan. I feel like we're in a laundromat. So Gambino and fam, they hit me up and they're like, hey, we're putting on a TV show. We want you to audition for a part. I'm like, okay, cool. He sends me the script. I read the script. It happened. It's episode 1 of Atlanta, playing a radio DJ. I look at the script, I read it. I look at my ex-wife at the time. I'm like, they have the N-word in here. I call fam. Gambino's manager. I'm like, yo, guys, you put the N-word in the fucking script. I don't say the N-word.
I respect that about you.
He goes, it's called acting. I was like, fuck you. All right, let me think about it. So I spent days thinking about what I was gonna do.
Right.
Should I do it? Should I not do it? How would it play? What is the Breakfast Club going to do with the audio when the episode airs?
Very true. The Breakfast Club is deep.
And by the way, I would have been playing a radio personality. How many people are going to believe it's just real?
Yeah, that's separated from
So I weighed this out. I talked to Ebro. I talked to my boy Shawnee Culture. I'm like, what should I do? I'm not even comfortable. I know this sounds crazy and people don't believe it. I haven't said that word. My parents raised me from the very beginning.
Goddamn, make some noise for you. Goddamn it.
My parents. I used to shame other children if I ever heard it. Like I just was like, I didn't even understand. I didn't understand it. My parents just said that's a word you don't say.
Okay.
So I talked to everybody about it. I'm like, I'm not even comfortable doing this. So I talked to Ebro and Shawnee. Everyone's like, bro, you got it. I was like, I think this show is going to be legendary, though. Legendary. And they're like, so
you saw it already. You knew.
I knew. It was Donald's show. I knew. So I decided to do it. I practiced it. And practicing it, I only felt comfortable practicing it with black people.
Right.
I was like, I'm not going to sit around with another white person and practice saying the N-word.
Right.
So my boy Shawnee Culture.
Sounds mad awkward already.
Yo, it all is awkward. But I was like, if I'm going to have to do this thing, I'm not going to do this secluded with white people.
Right.
I'm not saying getting comfortable with this.
Right.
So I practiced it. I could tell he was like, this isn't that believable.
Right.
And I did the audition, didn't get the part. I ran into fam. I'm like, so what happened? He was like, just couldn't believe you saying the N-word.
Right.
I was like, bro, I told you.
Right.
He was like, it's just you're too nice a guy. Because if you remember episode 1, basically the DJ seems like, hey, I'm a cool DJ. And then he drops the N-word because he's a douchebag.
Right.
And I just wasn't able to pull off the douchebag.
And
In retrospect, it was for the best.
Who wound up doing it?
An actor.
A random.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a DJ.
What, it wasn't
wasn't
white
like
guy?
bootleg Kev came in. Like it wasn't a DJ. So in the end, I think it's probably best it didn't happen. But I'm not gonna lie, I did want to be part of that show because I knew it was history. Like I knew this show was gonna be iconic.
That's fine. So now this is a part of the show we call Quick Time with Slime.
Quick time or slime?
Quick Time with Slime.
Quick time with slime.
Yeah. So
You're slime.
yeah, but you get it's one or the other.
And you're quick.
Yeah. And you got to be pause. You got So it's one or the other. And if you want to pick both, it's great, but you got to take a shot. It's just the way it happens. We'll get your cards.
Oh, guess what?
Everyone. Nas or Jay-Z?
Shot.
If you pick both, you take a shot.
And you can't really explain much. You just gotta answer.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm already ruining it. I'm already fucking it up.
Yeah, it's called Quick Time.
Jay-Z.
Okay, all right, cool. I didn't expect that.
Barely.
Okay.
Barely.
Okay, respect or loyalty?
Loyalty.
All right, DMX or Tupac? I'm getting your shot ready. I don't think you can pick either. I mean,
I think I know what he's gonna pick.
No,
Who he's gonna pick?
Well, this is hard. It depends on what thing you're looking for. But for me personally, when it comes to music, DMX.
Okay, all right, cool. I didn't expect that. All right, Miami or LA?
LA. Sorry.
Fuck you.
You know you're in Miami right now, right? I'm part of LA too. I'm good with that.
I'm in Miami.
You gotta take a shot for
No,
switching.
LA.
No.
I said LA very quickly, actually, in a room full of Miami motherfuckers.
Right. But,
I deserve credit for that one more than any of them.
All right, 90s or 2000 hip hop?
90s.
Pharrell or Kanye, producer or artist?
Take that shot, baby.
Shot.
Come on.
How many more do you have?
A lot more.
You got like, wait.
6.
6 more, yeah.
Hold on, no. Let me think for one more second.
All right, cool.
Go for it.
Quick.
Pharrell.
Quick time.
All right, cool. Hulk Hogan
This will be easy.
or Ric Flair?
Ric Flair.
Man, you just no more hope.
Hulk Hogan said the N-word.
All right.
He made it easy.
All right. Nah, Ric Flair's hip hop. Leave that alone. All right.
Flair's my guy. And by the way, and in real life, Ric Flair's my guy.
He's the man.
I don't know Hogan. I don't know Hogan like that. I met him, but Flair's my guy.
I never met.
I met him at the gathering of the
either or.
Juggalos, and it was wild.
I never met either or.
I want to hear that entire story.
Yeah.
All right. Drink Champs or Rap Radar?
Drink Champs.
Okay.
By the way, By the way, shouts to Elliott Wilson. No, I
Big
love
up Elliott Wilson.
out
We miss you. You
we missed the train. We missed the train.
Yeah, we missed the Elliott Wilson train. He hasn't listened to the Elliott Wilson train since.
But nah, drink champs.
COVID. Come on, let's get out of COVID, y'all.
I thought you were gonna pick COVID or another disease.
COVID or rap radar.
Yeah. COVID or HIV. No, stop. That was not a question.
I go COVID very quickly.
That was not a question. All right, the Knicks or the Nets?
Well, Knicks.
All right, you got to pick one both.
Well, I'm not a fan of either. I'm a Celtics fan, but I'll say Knicks. I pull for the Knicks more.
All right, Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Is that the last one?
We got two more after it, but it's pretty easy. Two more after it. Yeah, it's pretty easy. This is the last. Yeah, let's just go.
I'll take a shot. Yeah.
Let's go with the shot.
I'll take a shot.
No, I got one more. Organic food kings or GMO food kings?
Which one should I say?
Organic food kings.
Yeah. Organic food kings. Check them out.
Big up to Organic Food Kings. The vegan. Keep going.
They feeding us. They
feeding us, goddammit. Hold on, Rosenberg. I'm not going to put no ice in this
shots?
one.
Hold on, let me get some on my horn.
I'm not going to put no ice in this one.
Yo, that was fucked up. You knew that you put me in an impossible spot for the last one.
At least you had to, because everyone takes shots. Like Fat Joe said, I'm not drinking. We came to here, you drink 7
Which
shots.
one was it for Joe? What got Joe? Do you remember?
A couple of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Joe's not taking Jay or Nas.
Other than, no, we put Remy Ma and Nicki. Or like Remy Ma and Cardi or something like that. Oh, my God. And he took Remy Ma. Okay, so you ready? This should be easy for you as well.
Ricky Martin, what'd you say?
Remy Ma.
Oh.
Puff Daddy or Dr. Dre?
Dre. Dale.
Puff.
Podcast or radio?
Radio.
Over podcast? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really? Well, it's your job.
NY or DC?
Yo, I'm sorry, it's NY for me.
And I didn't think I might take a shot.
Is,
I might take a shot just because I thought you were gonna pick DC.
Yo, listen, I love DC. It'll always be where I'm from. It's where my family lives. The thing is, these formative years for me, I've been in New York. Like when I, you know how when you go back to New York, probably
right.
There are things that you're like, I barely even recognize this. This is so different. That's what it's like when I go back to DC.
Now, you know what I say when I go back to New York? I'm like, fuck this place, right? Like
only you can say that.
You don't say that about Queens.
I say about New York, period, until I land. Then I land, I'm like, damn.
Yo, you know what I did for the first time recently?
I missed it. I missed it when I land.
My girl's from Queens.
Okay.
She took me to the Coliseum for the first time. I had never done a proper Queens shopping Coliseum experience.
You know that's what Nas shot the person in the belly.
Oh, it was at the Coliseum?
Yeah, that was outside the Coliseum. Remember
Yo, can you tell me though? What I know you're doing the interview, but what was the Coliseum like? Like a nice Saturday afternoon back in the day.
You would have had to have a rope chain walking through there. I'm assuming your girl is white. I'm just asking.
She is.
Okay, yeah. So y'all two coming through back in the days, you would have had to have some gold fronts in your shit. you had that Gucci jacket.
My girl probably.
If she wasn't white, what would be the difference if she was top?
No, I'm just saying. You just had to be affiliated to somebody. Somebody had to know somebody to make somebody. To get you had to be affiliated to get a beef patty. You know what I mean?
Right,
that type of shit.
Oh, by the way, there's the beef patty spot right on the corner.
Did you go to the beef patty spot?
I saw it. This is the spot where everyone. She was like, "Oh, this spot's the shit."
This spot is the shit. They got barbecue beef patty. They got jerk beef patty. You would think I work for them. Let me
tell you, Queens people are something else, though, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, the way
we're the best borough. I don't know.
I joke all the time with Cipha and Juan that I say dating my girl. I was like, my girl's basically like spending time with Big N.O.R.E. Right. That's how Queens my girl is.
Yeah.
That's how like when I think of Queens, I picture Big N.O.R.E. being like, "What's up, cousin?"
Yeah, but
my girl's loud. Queens people are just a different.
Honestly,
animal.
if you're really from Queens, this is why Donald Trump is lying on his birth certificate. He's always been blaming Barack Obama for lying on his birth certificate. He's been lying. He's been saying he's from Queens. There's no way you can be from Queens and be racist.
Where do you think he's from?
I think he's from Brooklyn. You can be racist if from Brooklyn, man.
He's from Brooklyn?
They got Park Slope and shit like that.
By the way, if you're not a New Yorker, you don't appreciate how underrated great that line is. That Donald Trump was lying his birth certificate because he's not from Queens, he's from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn shit right there.
Bensonhurst.
I got bad news for you.
They got a couple of people there.
Unfortunately, there are racists in every borough in New York. As diverse as it is.
I'm just playing.
But but to your point, like, and my girl when her family moved to Brooklyn when she was in high school, and she commuted to stay at high school in Queens because of that. Like, because Queens is just like, she was like, the people here are just who I want to be around.
Right.
It's a different atmosphere. Like, that is, I do think Queens is
It's the most diverse.
It's the most diverse place in America, it feels like, honestly.
I always say this on this show, and I say this, like, I grew up with an Indian, I grew up with a Haitian, I grew up with a Russian. I knew every food. That's why, as an adult, don't be mad at me when you be like, yo, this is this type of food. I'm like, I don't fuck with it.
Because you tried it already.
Because you had it.
And Bronson wrote about that in his new book. I'm reading Action Bronson's
he's
new
definitely
book.
from Queens.
And he's like, yo, and he's Albanian. He's like, yo, in my neighborhood, literally every day my crew of people was Albanian, Dominican, Colombian. It's every single kind of person is there. It's just, yo, and that's why, honestly, when we talk about hip-hop, the Queens hip-hop conversation, you know, we always talk Nas and Nicki. We mention, like, the obvious people. But the real history of Queens and how deep it goes, Lost Boys, Mike Geronimo, Royal Flush, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Akinelli,
Soul Sisters, Soul Sisters,
Tribe. It's
T7. What's some shit? I forget.
Yo, the fucking
freestyle.
I know what you're talking about.
K7.
K7.
I wasn't gonna mention K7.
That's a gang. TA7 from also my hood.
Also Queens.
Also Queens.
Extra P.
Large bro. Let's go.
Like, it's just, Queens is, everyone will default and say Brooklyn or Bronx first, but honestly, I think you can make the argument that Queens is the best borough in hip hop.
I believe so. I'll make some noise for that. God damn it.
God damn it. They're at least in the conversation. To me, it's Queens and Brooklyn, and you know. And the Bronx is obviously the birthplace, so they have their own thing already.
Yeah, we can't compete with them. They already.
They're the birthplace. They have the birthplace.
We don't want that part.
But Queens,
but we kept it going. That's why it was easy for MC Shan to tell that story, because people told him this is what happened in the park.
And by the way, do you want to know something that, speaking of Queens, that I've always felt that I think is a controversial hip hop opinion? I always thought that the best record in the battle
between KRS and
Shan, and obviously I think KRS is a god. I always thought The Bridge was the best record in the whole thing.
Out of all of them?
Yes. Like, record. I don't mean like got the hardest diss in. I mean that when that shit comes on and you hear what Marley did at the beginning of the record, when those drums first clap at the beginning, to me, that was always it.
You know what? My Queens and me
I like it more than the beat for The Bridge is over.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. South Bronx came out first, right?
Correct.
Then the bigger bridge, right?
Then the bridge is
over. The problem is when you compare it, it's almost like when you compare Takeover, you always have to say Takeover and Super Ugly. And then it's just crazy that Ether supersedes Takeover and
Although, you know, I'm notoriously I'm a Takeover guy over Ether.
Yeah, but you wrong.
I know.
By the way,
everyone says that.
So now that makes sense why you're saying what you're saying now.
But I just never could fuck with the beat to Ether. I'm too much. You always said it's half beat, half rhymes.
Right.
I never fucked with, and I told Ron Browse to his face, I respect you as a man and as a producer. I never fucked with Ether like that.
Ron Browse should have stepped on your big toe. Just throwing it out there. Just doing your big toe.
He was getting money.
Leave your whole other feet like secure.
Right, but the big toe.
The big toe, bang. He just
I get it. You know what? I take the L that I'm probably wrong on the Takeover thing.
Because you picked Jay over Nas just now.
But by the way, so opening that up a little bit.
Let's open that back up.
Let's open
that back up.
Jay and Nas both occupy a space that is so important. They're both such gods in different ways.
Did you hear the new song, I'm Sorry, Not Sorry?
I did hear the song.
Okay, continue your message, and we'll get back to that.
I just watched Belly the other day, though, the day of X's memorial. I wanted to watch it.
Where you're going with this.
No, just seeing Nas walk on the screen, I was just like, yo, he's such a fucking icon.
Oh, okay.
And the other day, he's in a new movie on Netflix right now.
I know. It's it's a monster. They saying slime in there.
Yeah.
People are telling they saying slime in there.
So,
they said I gotta
so
send my lawyers. All right, yeah, good.
So, and Rocky's in it too.
And the homie from Westworld is in there.
Yeah, but
it's Nas executive producer, so I don't know how to do this. So I'm gonna just leave it alone.
Yeah, leave it alone.
Yeah, just leave it alone. Because I love the big homie. Me and the big homie, we like this right now.
So when Nas comes on the screen,
he's in jail.
And I'm just like, man, like Nas, I just want to take a moment to appreciate how iconic he is. Right. And listen, I've been hard on Nas before. Like, I hated Uchiwali.
Stop being hard on Nas, okay?
But no, I love Nas. Loved it. And we have a great relationship with Nas.
You didn't get the double entendre right now.
Was it like, that was a pause you were setting up?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But no, him and Hov occupy different spaces. But like, they're both so unbelievably iconic. But who has the better bodies of work? That's what I always get into, is who has the albums. And they probably have this almost the same amount of classic albums, honestly. You know, I'm a Blueprint, I'm a Reasonable Doubt Blueprint, then Black Album, slightly down from those two kind of guy.
And you are Illmatic?
I'm an Illmatic through and through. I love It Was Written.
It Was Written.
I think there are other ones in there that people have slept on a little bit. I think Godson has incredible joints on it.
Hip Hop Is Dead.
Yo, Stillmatic. The Stillmatic intro
is crazy. Yes.
Yo, the Second Childhood. Like, there's, you know, but I think, here's the thing about Nas, though. I don't think Nas, I think his interest in beats is weird. It's not what I would expect sometimes what he chooses.
Right, yeah.
And then Hove, I think, has great beat selection, but I think he intentionally chooses some weird shit sometimes because he wants to just kind of shine.
Right.
You know, like, I don't think either of them are, no one's flawless, bro. The thing is this, we were grading on a scale that didn't make sense because we had never seen artists age before. So when someone has 3 albums, you're like, oh, the 4th one's not great. You forget about the fact that they might have 15 albums
left coming on.
Yo, Paul Simon is one of my all-time favorite artists, right? Paul Simon's 75 years old. He's
What
put
song
out
he
a
sing?
good joke.
Give me a song he sing.
You Can Call Me Al.
You can call me Al?
You Can Call Me Al.
I don't know this nigga.
Just call him out.
Yo, is it The Sound of Silence? The Sound of Silence?
You gotta sing it. You gotta sing
If you heard it, you know it.
How about Mrs. Robinson? God
Yeah, that
bless
one
you,
you know.
please, Mrs. Robinson.
that song.
Jesus loves you more than you could know. Never heard?
I think so.
Yo,
Let's
hold
roll
on.
with it. Let's
Yo,
roll with
the
it.
fact that you just said, I don't know that N-word
Yeah.
about Paul Simon is the illest shit of the whole
But you know how I
podcast.
do know Bob Sinclair. Well, hold on. He's the shit. Bob Sinclair is the shit. I'm sorry. I went too far. All right, listen.
My point was this, though.
Continue your point.
With Paul Simon or Bruce Springsteen or these guys who have been around 40 years,
I know the boss. I know the boss.
They have bricks in there.
Yeah.
They have bricks, but at the time, in the 90s and early 2000s, when I was grading albums, I had never seen a rap artist who lasted 30 years.
Right.
So if they drop one album, we go, they fell off. They didn't fall off. They made one whack joint as part of an entire career in which they'll make more classics down the line. So we always think it's the end. Yo, guys, we could have 10 more Kanye albums left. We could have 7 more Nas albums left, 8 more J albums. These are young men, relatively.
Right.
You don't know how. So, like, we were always holding this whole, it's a young man's game.
No.
That's always only because rap artists hadn't lived long enough for it to become a generational game. And we stupidly cut off our own old school artists and made them feel like they weren't cool anymore when they'd show up at the club and they were 45. It's like, oh, these guys are
Need
old.
another shot. Look at them. Go ahead, go. Keep going, Peter.
We should have always been treating them like
The
you never know what they're
Father.
about to drop next.
Right.
Then you're supposed to tell somebody do 10 push-ups, like in old school. Like in old school.
Yo, I do 10 push-ups,
I
yo.
do 10 push-ups. Right?
By the way, he already
This
did.
is the Par father. This is the Par. Yo, Blue, you my boy, Blue. You don't remember old school?
Of course I do.
All right.
But like, no, we just need to. We don't realize where the game's going. Who's going to drop a classic album?
But those
when?
2 artists specifically set the bar so high
Bruce
for themselves.
Springsteen?
No, Nas and Jay. With their first album.
Fuck with Bruce.
Yo, I love you, bro. I love you. I play and love you.
They set that bar so high for themselves that that's why everything felt like a disappointment after that.
Yeah, and it's not. The truth is, like the last Hove album, 444 was fire.
Fire.
I think Story of OJ is one of the greatest Hove songs of all time. Here's the goal when you get older in music.
Rap your age.
No. Here's what I was gonna say. Okay, sure.
But relevant to
don't fake it. I agree that it's whack. But what I was gonna say was, when you drop an album, if you could drop a classic, that's great. But what you really hope to do, you're gonna be touring for the rest of your life. You're adding 1 or 2 songs to your playlist at your shows. That's it. When you go see Billy Joel, I've seen Billy Joel at the Garden. Remember, he was doing Billy Joel did a residency at Madison Square
Who
Garden.
Billy Joel sing?
Oh, Jesus Christ Almighty.
I need.
He did a residency?
How about Piano Man?
No,
Let's
bro,
just keep
he's
it
not
going.
gonna.
How about Uptown Girl?
He has to, he has to hear the song.
We didn't
He
start
knows
the
these
clock.
songs. He guarantees.
So it doesn't matter. He's got a bajillion hits, right? His catalog's worth $1 gazillion.
Did you say bajillion?
Bajillion.
I'm taking that. Go ahead,
That's yours.
continue.
So when Billy Joel, when you go to his concert, 90% of the songs he put out between the late 70s and 1985.
Right.
After that, there's 1 song off each album that was a hit that he does at the concert. That's it. No one was listening to the late albums all the way through. They took the hot joint, you add it to your set, you keep it moving. And then later in your life, the goal is you're 72 years old and you get nominated and you win that best album Grammy. You know, like we'll see like a Bob Dylan nominated at 71 years old because he finally hit another classic joint. But you don't have to have, or Tony Bennett. You don't have to have a classic.
I know who Tony Bennett is. Old
every
school
album.
Mafia dude. Yeah.
You just need to make good music.
He's still finger popping something somewhere. Tony Bennett.
Wow.
Tony Bennett. He's still
You
finger
think that?
popping. I feel like Tony Bennett finger
Yeah,
popping.
Tony Bennett.
And we're clapping for this. Let's clap for the finger pop at
For the
70.
finger pop.
That's
So
a
listen,
slow finger pop.
you also started the beef between Saigon and Mobb Deep.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no. That was the end of the beef. That was the problem.
Listen,
I
I was there. That's all I saw. It was your show.
Wait, you were there? Were you at the show?
I was supposed to perform the War Report for the first time ever in our
Oh my God,
career.
you were on the show.
We were
I forgot.
on the show.
That's how I booked it. It was like you agreed to do the War Report for the whole thing.
For the first time ever. We've never done a War Report before that, and we never done a War Report since. So you came to me. I didn't want to do it. You convinced me. It's like, yo, let's do it. We'll have Mobb Deep do the whole Infamous. I said, oh, okay. And
oh yeah, it was Mob was going to do the Infamous. You were going to do the War Report.
we had, and us and the Mob had really just been on the same great
what a
level.
fucking disaster I was. Who didn't pull me aside and say, bro, do you know all the people you're dealing with right now? Do you know what problems?
What a
Because
mess.
so here's the thing I'll say, because I know I saw Saigon on your podcast and I've talked to Saigon recently.
Right.
Without
He
going,
challenged you at Ebro to a
yeah,
fight,
he wanted
right?
to fist.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
just-
gonna.
let's
By
just-
the way, I like to answer Saigon. No, not fighting you.
Right.
Know how that would turn out, and it's not a dub for me.
Right.
So, let me just say this. And by dub, I mean W. I would lose. So,
Shout out Saigon.
Saigon's version of the story is not how I recall it. I was brand new.
Okay.
I did not know who had issues with who at that very moment. And I know that sounds crazy because people didn't know Saigon and Prodigy had shit.
Right.
But at that time, I didn't know that. I was like, Saigon, you want to perform at the show? He said, sure. I'm playing his Come On Baby record every week. I'm the guy playing it. I'm fucking into it. I love Mobb Deep, as you know. I love
This
you
is
guys.
prior to Hope jumping on it?
Maybe he's just jumping on it right at that moment.
Okay.
And so the one part
So
that
you're saying, I'm sorry to cut you off, you're saying that Jay-Z might have jumped on it, that record, because of the actual incident, because remember, him and P had a little problem.
Wow, no, that is
I'm trying to make it a double entendre. Should you roll with it? I think you should think about it.
And another B. And another B. That was a reach. No, I don't know.
That wasn't another B?
That was another B.
That wasn't another B. I'm sorry. Okay, all right.
So I didn't beg Saigon to perform. I know I asked him to. I definitely said I would love for you to perform your song.
Right.
He claims in the story that he tells, and I don't fault him for this. I think it's simply the stories we tell ourselves as time goes on. He's like, Rosenberg begged me to do it. Bro, I was such a little bitch made fresh out of Chevy Chase, Maryland. I wasn't pressuring anyone to do shit. You know me at that time.
Wait up, you said Chevy Chase?
I'm from Chevy Chase, Maryland.
I need to visit this.
Chevy Chase has his Maryland?
Chevy Chase?
He has a Maryland?
Is this the actor? Is this like Dave Chappelle? Like Dave Chappelle got his own.
Chappelle's from the same area too, but no, Chevy Chase is not. I think he took his name after the place. He saw them on the map and was like, "Oh, that's a funny name." Have you heard of Silver Spring, Maryland? You've heard of Silver Spring? I know. It's Silver
Ain't
Spring.
that where Dave Chappelle live now?
Yeah, well, no, not now. He lives in Ohio now, but he used to be.
Right. Silver Spring,
Anyway,
Ohio?
Chevy Chase is where I'm
Okay,
from.
Chevy
the point
Chase.
is, I wasn't
That's
built.
insane.
I wasn't built for any of
I
this
need
shit.
to go to Chevy Chase.
By the way,
Where's Chevy Chase, though?
I want to go.
no, you should come to a Seder at my parents' house, a Passover Seder.
I want to take mushrooms and just hang out.
It's not like you're.
At the Passover?
Yo, white people aren't just doing mushrooms willy-nilly all the time.
Definitely not a Passover.
It's not a Passover.
It's not the way it works.
I mean, I'd be down to try it. But I don't remember that. I don't remember at that time. Me pressuring him would be crazy. I never would have been like, "Yo, you about to go on that stage, Saigon?" Like,
No, but did you say
chance.
he said begging? Begging and pressuring are two different
Good
things.
point. I would have let it go. I wouldn't have been like, "Please go on," either. You would have been like, "Oh, you don't want to do it? Okay, cool, I get it." Whatever it is, it happened. I understand, and I told this to Saigon the other day. I said, I get it, bro. Like,
So he spoke after he was on here?
After he was on here, and then after that, he went on social and talked about fucking
he went
us
to
up.
celebrity boxing match.
Yeah, and he definitely.
He's gonna fight both y'all at the same time?
MTV.
Yeah.
He was ready to box.
No, he was ready to. He was, and I Listen, I was a little bummed out by things that he said because we've been cool for years.
What did he
after
say?
that.
What was bummed out that he said, sir?
It was like, these guys don't care about the culture. Just some shit about me that's not true. Right. And that he knows is fundamentally not true. Saigon and I made a record together. He put it on his album. By the way, didn't clear it with me. I've never said one word. He took a record we made. It is currently streaming on his album from years ago. I never said shit. Take the fucking record. I'm glad we made it. Lil Fame's on it. It's fire. Shout out to Odyssey who produced it. It's a great record. I fuck with Saigon. I think it's unfortunate the way shit played out.
But so you didn't even produce it. How's it your record?
It was
He put it together.
I created a studio session. I introduced Odyssey to these artists, and we did a one-day
composer.
I Diddy did. I was like,
it's
hey,
producing. It's still producing.
Diddy did. I like that. Composer or Diddy did.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. So, the bottom line is, it's unfortunate, and I think Saigon is an incredible talent. I said to him the other day, he was saying that, like, yo, this one event was a really bad event, and you know, some shit didn't work out in my career. I said, bro, listen, you got some bad breaks, no doubt about it. You also got some great fucking breaks.
Yeah, you got Jay-Z on your first single.
Bro, well, and listen, I get it. The song didn't work out. He was also the guy on Entourage. Like, good shit happened for Saigon, too. And by the way...
And he was Saigon on Entourage.
Yo, listen, the point is, he's a good dude. We all have
he's a great dude, yeah.
We all have, and he's a passionate, real dude and a real artist. I fucking love Saigon. I've known him for, again, it's one of those things. We had beef very early. Even before that, we had beef. We had shit before that. We made up. I know we talk shit now. I love Saigon. Like, shit happens is unfortunate, but I'll just tell you this. I was a New Jack. I didn't know what I was doing. I'll take the L for even putting the show together, though, because I didn't know.
Oh,
yo, I
shit.
was just
Saigon, the young father.
Yo, tell them the last words I said.
No, it was all positive. It was all positive energy. It was all positive energy. I can't lie. Peter Rosenberg said great shit about you. It's positive energy. So it's the positive part of the thing. All right, hold on. Y'all say what's up, man. We squash beef on Drink Champs.
What up? Yo, I literally just said that I loved you 2 minutes ago. Yo, I was just telling them that we have a history that goes back before that event. Yo, he's got...
Big fact, big fact.
Big fact, bro. You know it's all love, man.
Yeah. Yeah, yo, Peter, man, check this out. Like me and you Gucci, man. Like that whole shit. You know what I'm saying? The reason why it still comes up is because when I do press and people, like, a big question is what happened? What happened? Like, you had all this energy and just went away.
Yep.
So I gotta be honest and be real about what really took place. And for that, like I be telling niggas, that's equivalent to a nigga having a fucking Drake feature today. It changes your life.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It changed my life in so many ways.
Nah, I get it. When you told me that, when you DM me that, like, it made me understand why it comes up again. And obviously, listen, our memories are going to be different of shit. Our memories are different of shit, but that is what it is. You know it's love, bro.
But how was your? Oh, you mean from that night?
Yeah, of course. We're two human beings with two versions of our own life.
I told you I'm not supposed to even be in this motherfucker, man.
Yeah, I was dumb, bro.
I only went there to see N.O.R.E. I went there to see.
Yeah, he blames me. Yeah, yes, I got you right. It's N.O.R.E.'s fault, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? But on some real shit, Peter. Like, we had a relationship prior to that. And like, I've been in your crib, my nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I've been in your crib, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know your brother, you introduced me to your brother, and it was always love. So really, I want to slap Ebro still, but not...
Listen, I'll try to... Jesus. All right, I'll try to...
I know that's your brother. It's positive, and I know it's your brother, and I know y'all close and shit, but E was my man, too. E didn't have to do me like that, bro. E didn't have to do me like... Nobody was bleeding. There was no scuffle. They still performed. It was not even that big.
Hey, listen, let's set up a convo. Let's set up a convo and talk it out and move onward and upward.
Please, I would love that.
Done. I will do it. I will set it up.
Yeah,
we're doing it right now. Bro.
Peace and love, man.
Yeah, N.O.R.E.'s now the king. Yo, by the way, you jacked that from me.
What's that?
That's a Rosenberg move. What? The mid-podcast blind calling people and holding the shit up to my phone. How do you think we did interviews back in the day?
All right, so by the way, all right, big up that. I don't want no violence. And I'm going to say something because I got 2 more questions after this.
Okay, cool.
I actually don't have the stories. Y'all made fun of me the day that y'all interviewed the Saigon thing. It's like, yo, N.O.R.E. can't say what a lot of these other artists say. I never had beef with Ebro.
Yeah, Ebro said that. Ebro was like, N.O.R.E. and I definitely never had any problems ever. Like, you were good. You have been Gucci at Hot 97. Even after all the shit that went down, everyone knows about, you still, there was never an issue.
So I gotta stand up for Ebro because, sometimes people think that, when you was banned and they took you over Hot 97, they blame Ebro for that. And I gotta be a man and tell you that he had nothing to do. He was not even in power. He was not even in that. But afterwards, he came, we spoke. I had his first night in New York. We hung out, had a great time. You know what I mean? So I've never actually said that publicly. He said it a couple of times. But I want people to know that, Ebro is super solid with me. The morning show, you, Laura, Styles, Peter, all
and
you guys.
Super supportive of Drink Champs.
Super supportive, man. So I just want to make some noise because a lot of people think. All right, so moving on. DMX just got a day. What do you feel about that? Then I got one more question after that, and that's it.
Wait, he just got a day?
Yeah, a day, like a day dedicated to him, DMX, on his birthday.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's the whole state of New York, correct?
It's New York, yeah. Listen, he is... X is so special, man. EFN and I were talking before we went on the air about his last appearance on your show.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's just I can't believe that he's gone, man. It's a really... I've only got to be in his presence actually a few times.
Wow.
I know, not very much.
Because wasn't you hosting the...
Rock the Bells.
Rock the Bells.
That was the only time I got to be around him.
Wow.
And that interview's on YouTube, and he was great. I mean, it was one of those things with X where you could tell he's not sober during the conversation.
Did Rough Riders come to you and be mad at you?
No. He was still great though. It's a weird thing, when one thing I love about the X story, as sad as it all is that it's a very open story. He's honest.
Very honest,
right.
yeah.
Swizz is honest. We all know that X had a hard life and had demons to deal with. Right. So instead of talking around it, we're able to talk about a real man who was vulnerable in that way. Yet he managed to struggle with these demons and yet be a good dude through it all. Mm-hmm. I have not heard the story yet of X treated someone like shit.
Yeah.
When you met him, he was everything you thought he would be in a good way.
Yep. Right.
Now listen, you book him for a show, he might show up 2 hours late.
Right. Maybe 4.
Maybe 4.
Right.
He might not show up.
No, yeah.
He might not.
It might be Drink Champs 4.
Right.
It might be.
But by the way,
been hanging
that's
out
still
with me.
part of what you would expect of X.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was an enigma. He was amazing, man. He's that when I have that moment where I need to play something to make myself feel like I'm kind of bigger than I am. Mm-hmm. I play that "What's My Name" shit by, that shit, the one that has the intro, the
he got the burgundy, he got the burgundy leather thing on, and it's black and black. Yeah.
Tyson came out to it a couple times. So rest in peace, X, man. I wish I got to know him better.
God damn it. All right, now this is the last question.
Yo, I can't believe I'm gonna get out on time and make my flight too. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, but you gotta take another shot on this question.
Once I'm done, I'll take another shot.
For your flight.
All right.
No. 3 is my lucky number, so you gotta do it on camera. 3 is my lucky number.
Okay.
All right.
But the question first. Just let me get the question in my head first.
The question was, I grown close to you, because I kind of don't remember. I think it was a slight problem. I don't think it was a problem, a beef like how you thought it was.
No, I'm sure.
All right, but me and you got along. We did, and there was one thing that happened.
Oh, glad I didn't drink yet. Go ahead.
And it was a Chuck D incident.
Oh.
Wait. A Chuck D incident?
Yeah. So I would like you to recollect as much as you recall this incident.
Okay.
All right, you tell.
I'm glad. I want to do this with you. I'm glad.
Yes, please.
So Summer Jam 1 year, it was 13, 14, something like that. Some fuckery happened at the end. I think it was maybe the 50 Slow Bucks thing, or it was some shit. It was one of the fuckery Summer Jam moments. I don't remember which one. There have been several fuckery moments.
Right.
And afterwards, Chuck D made a statement of some sort, I don't remember where anymore, about Hot 97 and us being shitty and irresponsible and whatever the shit was. And
was he wrong? In that moment?
He wasn't wrong to be upset about a moment that occurred,
right.
But his overall, in my opinion, his overall way of describing Hot 97, while I understand why people do it, I wish they really knew. Like, we are not, like you just said about Ebro. Ebro is the most misrepresented guy. He does it to himself to some degree
because he's not a sucker.
He's not a sucker, and he knows that because he's not from New York and he's not a sucker, he has to play a certain part. By the way, Ebro's a big motherfucker. So he also, people might get extra salty because when they'd want to test him, they see him and they're like, all right, I'll let this one live. So he puts off a big energy that I think a lot of people misread him on. He's a fucking quality, solid dude. And the station, the way we operate in general, like we are, you think of like, you're a New Yorker, Lisa Evers. Like we are a solid community radio station that cares about the community.
Fuck with Lisa Evers, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Like we are, and we still do a community affairs show. Like places don't do community affairs shows. They let me have my real late show. Like we do quality shit on Hot. We are a deep part of the community. More so, we are not a huge company. Everyone thinks we were the bad corporate giant. No, we were always the smaller station. We were just the heritage station. So when Chuck made his statement, again, I don't remember exactly what it was. It came from a place of judging a moment where he was right to be disgusted with the moment. But I thought the view of the station was unfair. And you asked earlier, you said, loyalty or respect. And I said loyalty, no hesitation. So I love Chuck D. I grew up listening to Public Enemy. Night of the Living Bassheads video, it was part of me becoming in love with hip-hop. Fight the Power and Shut 'Em Down remix, I would say, are two of my top 10 favorite rap songs ever made. I respect Chuck D. But in that moment, I felt this need to be defensive of the place that has changed my life. And I rode hard. And in retrospect, I went too hard. I really did. And I am, of all the moments I've had, that is the one I'm regretful for. Because when I look back at it, it just reeked of privilege. It was showing, even if I didn't agree with him, Chuck D is so revered that I should have handled that like a son and been like, hey, that's Chuck's opinion. He has every right to that opinion, and kept it moving. And instead, I had the battery in my back to be like, I was probably still off the Nicki Minaj thing, thinking, let me talk some shit. I'm incredibly regretful for it. And the nice part of the story is,
get to it.
I had a lot of people call me and tell me different things in the weeks after the Chuck D.
I actually remember you calling him. So I remember this now.
So yeah.
Tell the story.
I remember this.
So a lot of people called me and said different things to me. But N.O.R.E called, and he called with zero judgment. He just said, I'm not calling to tell you about what you said. I'm calling to tell you that I was out and I heard people saying things about you negatively that were not the kind of people that I want to hear saying things about you negatively. These are not the people you want to be angry. I think you should apologize. And if you recall, N.O.R.E, as God is my witness, I said, sounds good, done. And the next day, I said, I got to do something on the air today. And I went on the air and I said, I apologize. I did not think about how this would affect people and how it would affect Chuck. And honestly, it was a mistake. Like, truth be told, whether people wanted to fuck me up about it or not, it just wasn't the right thing to do. And sometimes you get lost in a moment and you want to defend the place that you work. And I should have put hip-hop ahead of the station there and said, listen, that's Chuck D. He's in rarefied air. If I disagree, just disagree and shut the fuck up. And I didn't do that in that moment. So I would say that was one spot where I fucked up, and also where I was very grateful to you for having that eye to the street.
No, because we were friends at the time. And and it's one more question after this, because
we gotta go.
Because it brought me to another situation that we have to fix. But this was this one moment where, when you're my friend, you're my friend. I don't care, right? You go down the block, we go on Dunkin' Donuts, and they say this is a shit donut, and you want to eat the shit donut. I'm gonna say, don't eat this shit donut. But after you eat the shit donut, I'm gonna be the guy to look around and say, don't make fun of him eating the shit donut, right?
It's a real friend.
It's a fucking foul friend, but I'm a loyal friend. And when I saw that, because I knew that's not was your intention, you was, God bless me for saying this, it was like what they say in the work world, a company man. He was being a company man. I was. Which was like, it's like, all right, cool, like, most of us, who works for the bus company, and a tire comes off, and they say, well, the bus company is a piece of shit. You say, no. Well, I picked 99 tires, and 99 tires work. This is just this one, so you can't take this one thing out on a bus company. But what you don't know is There's people in Hialeah. There's people in Little Haiti. There's people in Overtown. There's people in Left Right. There's people in Corona who bus company is fucked up. You understand?
Yo, by the way, a lot of people may not understand what you're saying, but it's actually exactly right. That's exactly right.
No. My listeners understand.
They understand. They speak.
Maybe these guys don't.
Right, but they speak. They speak N.O.R.E.
They be speaking N.O.R.E. Yeah. So I wanted you to do that, and I was so thankful that you did. I really was.
No, I was thankful to you, bro.
I was thankful because, you said it earlier. Sometimes we speak from a place of privilege, and we don't know. Because what the fuck does privilege come with an alert sign?
That's the bet. People don't understand. You don't know that you're speaking from privilege.
Yeah, like you didn't go to Red Lobster and it's your turn for the table. They give you a thing and go beep beep beep. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
that's what privilege should come with.
You don't know, and then you look back and you're like, wow, that was really arrogant.
Beep beep beep.
All right, but now you have me nervous. What's the thing that you want to fix? Because I gotta call my car, and it sounds like you're about to get in some deep shit.
It's a little deep.
By the way, I'm not an asshole. I have to go to WWE tonight.
Okay, that's
make some noise. I'm looking at
There's a rumor going around, or what's going around. And listen, I'm not speaking about you because I have nothing else to do. I'm speaking about you because this man is here, and I want to correct the rumor.
There's a man here?
Yeah, here?
No, you.
Oh.
So there's a rumor going around that you actually searched for me to go at Tax Stone.
Oh, okay, I can handle this one. I thought it could be something else.
He amped it?
No, it was just misrepresented. And by the way, you're probably to blame for this.
Okay.
Because how would Tax have gotten the information unless you said something?
Okay.
The whole story in 1 second is, I don't even remember where me and Tax got issues from.
Right.
I know he said wild shit about me. He mentioned my ex-wife. Like, he did some wild shit,
I
right?
don't know nothing about
No, I know. There was some wild shit that happened. I was worried. As I said earlier, I am from Chevy Chase, Maryland. I am not built for this. So I'm very clear. And it took me a couple years to learn how to do what you're built for and what you're not built for. But now I know. And unlike a lot of people, I move around with zero security. I live very comfortably because I learned what the boundaries are and how you can just do what you do and not offend anyone. In this specific case, Tax was coming at me. I did not know much about him. What I heard was that he was, a street dude, knows the streets, whatever, all the shit you'd expect to hear. I reached out to N.O.R.E. and said, what do you know about this dude? The way the story's been retold was that I was like, yo, N.O.R.E., I'm putting the hit on. It's fucking crazy,
That's
town.
not what happened. Thank you. Because listen, I'm glad you said it.
I just hit you up and was like, I don't know what to do. I'm a little nervous.
So what happened was you asked me. I met him like 2 days later. And it was the CBS building or something like that. And I said to him,
well, no, you did the interview with him before that.
No, all right. So then it was actually the interview because I said, or how we met. And like, I didn't know how he looked, obviously.
Right.
So I gave him a second hand. He's like, yo, I'm Tax Stone. I said, oh, Peter asked me about you. And then it was like a joke. He was like, oh, Peter got N.O.R.E. to try to get at me. So when he said that, I laughed. But it wasn't like serious to like run with it. Like he didn't call me like to say, "Yo, go get this guy." Like or
I'm grateful for you telling that because the way he told it was that I was like, "Yo, N.O.R.E., send the shooters." It was I was fucking shocked.
God bless.
Who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is.
Let's be very careful. God bless Tax because I will never ever ever go at anybody that is in the can, going through this situation. I have all due respect. I have all respect for you. It's just, it was funny at the time, so I didn't correct it when he was home. Right. I'm just correcting it now because the rumor keeps continuing. If you called me. You did ask about him. Let's just be clear.
I did, and by the way, Tax and I had a cool conversation after that. Tax was actually, I got to give Tax credit because
we always give Tax credit over here.
So Tax and I had our shit.
You don't hear when we give him credit. He just
of course. By the way, no one's gonna hear this. I'm gonna say the nicest thing I've ever said. No one's gonna hear it. But after the whole shit that we had, when I was super upset about what he said about my ex-wife, he called me and he apologized. He was cool. He was like, "Yo, that shit's out of bounds." My shit, and again, his shit was more with Ebro. I got more dragged into it, whatever. And he was very respectful and cool. And I think I was back as well. And we were cool. So when the shit came up a while ago, I was like, that story's not accurate.
Right.
But I was just curious. I didn't know who he was, and I just hit you up to be like, yo, you were the guy. You were the guy who I knew who could tell me what was going on.
You hit me up, and when I met him, I said, "Oh shit, Peter just asked about you," and he made a joke. He was like, "Oh shit," because of I don't know, I guess my reputation or whatever. He's like, "Oh shit, he called you to get me."
So again, your fault. What it all comes down to is always N.O.R.E's fault.
Oh shit, Saigon is my fault. No, but I just wanted to get that straight. You know,
I'm glad we did.
Big up to Saigon.
Hold your head
big up
and hold
to
your head,
Tax.
Tax.
Big up to everybody else who we talked about. Who else did we talk about?
No, let's not mention anymore. Big ups to all of them.
Big up to Starships, because I like Starships.
Starships. Big ups to that Real Late album, 6/4, June 4th.
Real Late.
Yeah, where can people find it?
Everywhere streaming, June 4th. Ghostface Styles P, Jim Jones, Crime Apple, Flea Lord, Rock Marcy, Wu-Tang. It's a lot.
God damn it. Make some noise for Peter Rosenberg.
Thank you, guys. Yo, by the way, make some noise as the original hip-hop podcast.
That's the last question. That is the last question.
No, I'm gonna end it.
End it with some talk. And I'm gonna end it with a shot with you. That's the only way you could do it.
As the original...
You the cool Herc hip-hop podcast.
Facts. As the original hip-hop podcaster of all time, along with Cipha Sounds, Juan. By the way, still stream Juan is life everywhere. I just want to say in this moment, I want to crown you guys.
Yes.
The #1 hip-hop podcast in the world today. Great chance.
Our energy.
Salute.
Salute.
That's it.
They get a bitch. No.